Yo, what up, boys? In this video, I'm going to walk you guys through my full story of how I went from being a completely broke college student to actually dropping out of college and just a couple of months later hitting $15,000 a month online at the age of 19. And I'll walk you through the full story, no BS, and it'll just be completely unfiltered. Now, before I get any fucking comments, yes, I'm wearing red pajamas. Yes, they don't match with my shirt. And yes, I don't give a fuck what you think because I worked my ass off to get this life, and this is part of the reason why I do what I do and why I was so motivated to do it is because now I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So, in order to go through my full story, we got to go all the way back to 2020, where I was a senior in high school. I was taking like a couple AP classes, I was doing sports, and right in March, COVID hit. Basically, we went back to school. We went back home. I didn't even get like a real graduation. But a lot of people during the COVID times, they like got depressed or they played a ton of video games or they got into a bunch of bad vices or bad habits. I mean, it kind of started that way for me, but very quickly after that, I realized that COVID was almost like a blessing in disguise. Because during COVID, it allowed me to actually have time to think. And what I started thinking about is what I actually wanted my future to look like. And just being fully transparent with you guys, I was deeply terrified of working some average 9 to 5 job. Like I don't want to be average. I want to be successful, even if it's not the top of the top. I just don't want to be average. I was terrified of working an average job where you just barely get by, you barely make enough money, you have to show up to the office at the same time every day, you have to wear a fucking suit and tie, you have to act like you're friends with all these coworkers around you when you don't really actually care about them. I was terrified of living that lifestyle. And that's what I realized during COVID. So I started doing something about it slowly but surely. And on top of that as well, I downloaded an app called TikTok on my phone. And basically, I started seeing these dickheads online making like 10, 15, 20K per month, flexing their lifestyle, their watches, their cars, and it really started to piss me off. It's hard for me to even quantify into words how much it pissed me off at the time because I wanted this life that they were living and I didn't know how the fuck they were doing it. I started looking into these guys. I realized that maybe some of them were scammers, but I realized as well that some of them were legit and they were actually making the money they were saying they were. And I was like, dude, I need to do something like this. So then, summer passes and I go into my first year of college up at a random college in the state of Wisconsin. And my vision for wanting to live this life and wanting to not work some shitty 9 to 5 job for the rest of my life, it gets like doubled down on because as I'm going through these college classes, I'm learning the material that I already knew from high school. And it was just like the biggest waste of money, the biggest waste of time ever. I wasn't even partying, so I wasn't even like getting the college experience because it was COVID. It was just a fucking joke, bro. And so I started realizing like even more, I need to do something about this. And then this was the final nail in the coffin. At the same time, as I was going to college classes, I was working part-time as a lifeguard until I got too cold out in Wisconsin. I was still working as a lifeguard. And basically, I was doing my work as a lifeguard. My shift ended, and my boss came up to me and he's like, yo, you need to clean the bathroom. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to clean the bathroom. That's not part of my job. I'm already clocked out. This is not part of what my job entails. And he's like, no, you have to do it. And I couldn't really do anything. I felt completely powerless. I felt completely out of control in my life because I needed the money. And that was like the final nail in the coffin. So very quickly after that, I actually start locking in and really like looking into the idea of making money online. So I tried drop shipping a little bit. For those of you who already know my story, you know that I actually did affiliate marketing after doing drop shipping, and I actually made some decent money with it. It wasn't anything like too substantial though. Like it didn't give me the full confidence I needed to go all in and drop out and everything like that. But you know, it was a decent start. But very quickly after doing affiliate marketing, I had a dark realization about the entire make money online space that changed my perspective and changed the way that I operated. I basically realized that despite what all of these gurus are telling you, they're telling you to go do drop shipping or SMMA or affiliate marketing or trading crypto or whatever the fuck it is, all of these people actually run the same exact business. They're telling you to go do that, but they're actually doing what they're actually doing is they're selling a coaching program or an online course. And I started understanding that instead of actually listening to these people, I should do what these people are actually doing. Because they'll tell you to go do drop shipping or trade crypto, but all of these people actually make their money from selling coaching or online courses. So I realized that that actually is the best business model. And I was like, wait, is there a way that I can do this without compromising my morals? And I was like, yeah, I probably can. However, at the time, I was still literally a freshman in college. And so I'm not going to go out there and sell an online course or a coaching program about something that I've never actually done. That's just immoral, in my opinion. And so I was like, well, shit, bro, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to teach? And the answer is nothing, because I didn't have any life experience. I didn't have any, I wasn't like, I wasn't like shredded or ripped. I wasn't rich. I wasn't like, there was nothing that I could actually teach people how to do. And so what I realized instead, the most logical step, instead of doing that, if I can't do that business model, is instead I should go in and work with one of these types of businesses. And that's exactly what I started doing. And I started doing the business model of high ticket sales. I started off by doing appointment setting. Basically, you have creators on the internet and influencers on the internet that are selling coaching online courses, and these people get hundreds of DMs on a daily basis, hundreds of leads from ads, whatever it is. They're not the ones that go in there and respond to every single message or call all these leads or bring them into their sales funnel. They have other shit to do. And so they hire appointment setters in place to take care of that. And they hire salespeople to actually sell their program for them. And so that's exactly what I started doing, because I was thinking to myself, it's like, okay, number one, the reason I'm not making money is because I'm not skilled enough. Number two, I eventually want to run my own coaching program online course. I want to do it the right way. But how can I do that? Well, what I can do is, instead of building one and failing, I can just go in and work with an already successful one. I can see the ins and outs of how they actually run their business. I can learn how to sell one of these things. And then when I start my own, I should just be able to take off. And so I started doing appointment setting on an offer. And I started to actually see a little bit of a breakthrough. My first month of doing appointment setting on this offer, I hit about $3,000, which was actually really good, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at all. I was still working as a lifeguard. I was still full-time in college. And I managed to do that with the spare time that I had. And I still had homework and finals and all that garbage, as you guys may or may not know. you probably know. My second month of doing it, I hit a little over $4,000, because I started to actually get better and I started to understand what I was actually doing. And then a couple months after that, I hit like 6 or 7K per month online, which was really, really awesome. And so finally, at this point, after finding a little bit of success and after going through the trials and tribulations of failing with a couple different business models and not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, I started to actually get a little bit of a breakthrough and a stride going. I hit like 6 or 7K per month, and then I hit it again. And this was like right at the end of my first freshman year. So I was starting to go back home for the summer. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to drop out of college. And now, keep in mind that I already was making money, so it's a lot easier to do that. I don't think you actually should even drop out of college or quit a 9-to-5 job unless you actually are making some money. It's going to be some of the hardest work you're ever going to have to do in your life, though, is like maintain a job and make money online, or college and make money online. Probably the hardest shit you've ever done in your life. It definitely was up there for me. But I came back home for the summer, and I started telling my parents about what I was doing, and I just straight up told them straight to their face, I don't really care what you think. I'm going to drop out of college. Now, they were obviously super concerned for me, but I started developing really, really good habits as I was starting to grow and make more and more money and obsess over this appointment setting, high ticket sales stuff. In fact, I was waking up at like 5:30 a.m. and I was working out. And this was before my parents were even waking up for work. And so they started seeing that consistently over and over the course of the summer. And they're like, yeah, this guy's serious. And they trusted me. And so I took a gap year, but it was really just me dropping out. And I never returned a foot back onto that campus, which I'm so fucking happy about, because I didn't like the education system at all, like ever. I did it. I was good at it. I hated it though. So anyways, making 6 to 7K per month online. Now I'm back home. Now I don't have to deal with all this college bullshit. I quit my job as a lifeguard because I'm back home now. And I had the full day to just lock in and get really, really good now instead of having half of the day to do that. And so now I had the full day. I locked in every single day. I'm spending 5-6 hours in the DMs getting better. And I'm also spending hours on end, like reviewing my work, watching YouTube videos, buying courses, working with mentors, and just getting better and better and better and better. And obviously, when you start doing that over the course of time, it starts to stack up. Your skills get a lot better and you start to make more money. And then right at the end of the summer, when I was supposed to be about to go to my second year of college, I had a guy reach out to me because at the time I was also doing a really good job of networking with people inside of the space. I had a guy reach out to me, and he said he wanted to start a business. I said I also wouldn't mind starting a business, and he had an idea. He wanted to start a business where he was going to help different coaches and online course sellers grow their business and make more money because he had an expertise with that. And we set our responsibilities super well. He would take care of the content. He would take care of working with the clients. All I had to do is do appointment setting, which is what I was already doing inside of the other business. All I had to do is appointment setting and be the person that actually takes those appointments and sells the program. So I was doing appointment setting and closing for this business full time. We started obviously working right away with a mentor because working with coaches and getting help from people is the most, like, bro, I can't stress this enough. Like, working with a mentor and getting help from somebody that actually is legit, not some like scam or some garbage, but something that can actually help you is like the most game changer thing that you can ever do. I learned sales so quickly when I started working with a mentor because he was actually able to review my work and practice with me. But we picked up really, really quickly. Inside of that business, we hit 20K per month, like within month one, and I was getting half of the business. He was getting the other half. And just a couple months later, we scaled it to 50 to 55K per month profit. And the best part of all of that, which I don't even really talk about too much, is the fact that we were traveling a lot while we were doing these record months. So I have a couple videos and a couple pictures on my phone of me, my business partner, and two other clients that we were working with that were also like younger because I was still only like 19, 20 at this time. We all went to Mexico for 6 weeks. We got a nice, like a dope ass Airbnb, and we would just wake up every single day at like 6 a.m., just grind straight until like 1 or 2 p.m. Then we go out to eat, get some food. And then me and the boys would go scuba diving or just do some like crazy ass shit. And that was honestly like the most fun thing ever. So not only was I making good money at this time, but I also wasn't locked in my parents' bedroom. And that gave me like the possibility to move out of my parents' house, again, do all this traveling stuff and live my dream life. And shortly after that, now I moved to Tampa Bay, Florida, which is where I am right now. I got out of the cold in Wisconsin because I hated it so much. Now I live in the warm, and I'm wearing PJs in the warm, so I'm kind of a changed man, I guess you could say. But I don't mean to brag or do anything like that, but I really just want to use this to inspire you because younger me would have loved to see a video like this. Now I can say that I'm living my dream life. I live in my dream apartment. And I'm moving to an even better apartment. So I was already happy in this one, but I'm moving to an even better one. And I just have like full freedom. And that's really all I wanted. I can do whatever I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. A lot of dope people here in Tampa Bay too, that are also young and that are also building businesses and whatnot. And so it's super sick. And so if you're a beginner, watching this video right now, and you probably see the guys on social media that are just like flexing their life on you 24/7. There's some important things that you need to understand. Number one, you need to, there will become a point, and sorry if you hear any construction behind me, but there will become a point where you need to put your foot down and lock the fuck in on doing a business model. And chances are, if you've been in this space before, you might have tried a couple different business models and failed with them. What I recommend you do, though, instead of trying all these different business models, is just focus on acquiring skills. Because that's what I did, and it was a game changer for me. And that's what changed everything for me. And then also work with a mentor if you can. And I'm not even saying this, like, you can work with me if you want. You also don't have to. I don't really care. Work with a mentor though. Work with somebody who's already gone through what you're looking to go through, and it'll be a game changer for you. So without further ado, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys got some value, or hopefully I at least inspired a couple of you in some sort of way. Comment below if I did. And you guys take care and have a fantastic rest of your day. Okay?